Hi, welcome to the International News Bulletin of Fuse News at the University of Manchester. The big news is coming from India, where the country has recorded the highest one day tally of new COVID 19 cases anywhere in the world. That's around 315,000, and the country's highest number of deaths over 24 hours. To brief us about more about the situation on ground, CNN correspondent from India, Prashasti Shandelia, is joining us. So during this time of emergency and global pandemic, Prashasti is continuously reporting from ground zero for CNN News 18. So Prashasti, welcome to the University of Manchester and thanks for giving us your time from your hectic schedule.
Thank you so much, Anurag. Thank you. I hope the inputs that I share are, valuable enough to shed some light here.
Yeah, so I'll start hitting you with the questions. So we'll start with what's the current situation on ground like during the second wave of COVID spread in India?
Well, clearly, Anurag, the situation continues to remain grim. Every day, we are seeing new peaks across the country, not just the capital. The financial capital and the national capital, too, are reeling under an emergency. Although it's an unprecedented emergency, despite all the precautions being taken up, now we are seeing that, after the first wave, somehow there was a change in the attitude of the people. There was laxity, of course, there were violations of the COVID appropriate behavior, and all these factors cumulative. This has resulted in another wave across the country. Both the financial capital and the national capital, as I told you, are breaking new records every other day. And also with that, Anurag, when I report on ground, I still see people violating the laws laid down by the Union Health Ministry, and this continues on a day-to-day basis. Despite a very strict lockdown imposed in the national capital, there are some sectors which are opened up now, including the essential services, the nutriment services, and the medical services. But clearly, we are seeing that the frontline healthcare workers putting in everything they have at the moment to, avert this major crisis.
Okay, so and how about the lockdown? I've heard that the Delhi, the national capital, is under a lockdown, and Maharashtra is also under lockdown. There are many states; those are severely affected, but they are not under lockdown.
Well, definitely. Well, lockdowns clearly are not just the solution, Anurag. It's a bigger picture that we need to see. Although lockdown has been imposed here, and initially the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal of the national capital was not too keen on imposing the lockdown. But since we saw the cases spiking, the numbers spiking to exponential levels, hence lockdown was imposed. Initially, there was just a 2 day weekend lockdown, which was further extended to a 1 week lockdown. Then we saw Maharashtra. Then there are different states which are, locking down themselves. This is being basically done to contain the virus. But still, it remains to be seen how feasible it's going to be. Because despite the lockdown in the national capital, we are seeing new records every day. Yesterday itself, Anurag, more than 28,000 cases were reported in Delhi, with an average of more than 1,000 infections per hour. The situation definitely continues to remain grim. A couple of days back, there were 277 deaths which were reported in the capital, with an average of almost 5 deaths in, almost 10 deaths in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So the average clearly is serious. The situation continues to remain grim. Most of the mega cities of the country are imposed under lockdown, and but still, people need to understand their responsibility at this point of time. We are seeing different sectors working day in and day out. We see, the police personnel stepping out every day, the security personnel, the healthcare workers, journalists, trying to put what they have at the moment. But it remains to be seen how people adhere to the COVID appropriate behavior. That too remains to be seen, Anurag.
And I've seen, I was going through your stories, so I've seen the panic among the migrating laborers. So what about them?
Well, definitely. Now, this is an important issue because these migrant laborers, they are an important part of the microeconomy of a particular city. When we talk about a city as big as Delhi, so these people contribute, massively to the economic development, to the economic contribution that these people have. But clearly, when the chief minister was announcing the lockdown for 1 week, he appealed to the migrant laborers not to leave Delhi NCR. Now, clearly, he did so because he feared that there might be a migrant exodus. And which is what happened. We saw how the migrants, feared that the lockdown might get extended further, and they flocked at different interstate bus terminals. So we spoke to a couple of migrants at length, Anurag, and most of them had the same apprehensions. And the sights that I saw, I had a sense of deja vu because those were the same visuals which I saw last year. So clearly, the migrants had apprehensions that they might be staring at an uncertain future. They might be vulnerable to economic crisis. They might be, exposing themselves to acute starvation, which is why the migrants, quote unquote, Anurag, said that if we have to starve, we would rather starve with our family members around. So these are the apprehensions which the migrants had, and which is why we saw n number of migrants flocking to the interstate bus terminals, leaving for their respective hometowns. Some migrant laborers also pursued their journey via foot. So this was the situation, but different state governments took cognizance of the same. And the Delhi government announced financial assistance, food and shelter. So this was done after the migrant exodus was reported by different media platforms. We wouldn't really call it an exodus, Anurag, but clearly it was a migrant movement. It wasn't as serious as it was in 2020, but there was panic and fear among the migrant laborers, to which the government addressed. The government took cognizance. The UP government too, Anurag, announced that the influx of migrants will be looked after. So after which we saw that the numbers dwindled, the numbers fell, and the migrants somehow, stayed here for a while. Now the migrants are looking at the coming Monday, because that is when the chief minister is going to announce if the lockdown is going to be, extended further. And if it happens, then we might see another migrant exodus.
Okay. And how about the healthcare infrastructure challenges? Like from social media to mainstream, like we are observing the oxygen, like lack of oxygen in hospitals. So, what about those?
Well, clearly, Anurag, the health infrastructure is enormously outstretched present because of the number of cases spiking to exponential levels. Earlier in the month of March itself, the capital was recording almost 300 to 400 cases on a daily basis. Now the number has increased massively. So this wave was not predicted actually. The worst part about this wave was it wasn't predicted by anybody. Like COVID itself wasn't predicted, so was this wave. After September and November, when the first wave ended, things were crawling back to normalcy. The economy was crawling back to normalcy. Different, sectors of the industry were opening up. And this is what happened to the health infrastructure as well. With almost 300 cases coming on a daily basis in Delhi, the health infrastructure was, prepared for the kind of, situation that was present there. But with this sudden spike, Anurag, we are seeing that the health infrastructure is also trying to come to terms with this unprecedented emergency, which is why we are seeing that there are various healthcare workers who are putting in whatever they can. They're working beyond their shifts. We are seeing deficit of oxygen supply, life-saving medicines, and there is a fear and panic among people. People are also, thinking that if they admit their loved ones or themselves to the hospitals, they might get saved. So these apprehensions and, coupled with the unprecedented spike in the numbers, are massively impacting the health infrastructure, which is why the chief minister also urged the people to get themselves hospitalized only when it's extremely important, only when it's extremely serious. And which is why we are seeing the, health infrastructure being massively outstretched. But the government is taking cognizance of the entire situation. We are seeing the government making arrangements at the 11th hour to see if the situation doesn't get out of hand anymore.
Okay, and what about the vaccination? Like some reports are suggesting that government of India have exported vaccines like outside the country, like to other countries, and now they are lacking with the quantities like in India itself.
Well, which is exactly why Anurag, the Prime Minister, held a very crucial meeting with the vaccine manufacturers of the country. And this came after the announcement that there's going to be a universal vaccination of all the residents of the country above 18 years of age from 1st of May. So this is being done, A, to counter the spread of the virus, and B, to universally vaccinate the residents of the country. Now we are hearing that the country is equipped with the vaccinations, which is why we are starting with the universal vaccination policy. So from 1st of May in the country, everybody who's above the age of 18 will be eligible to get themselves vaccinated. And of course, now the supply and demand are being checked, hospitals are being talked to, and the pricing is being worked on. And this is especially being done, A, to counter the vaccine hesitancy, and B, definitely to, contain the severity of the virus. Well, definitely the vaccine is not 100%, it won't make you 100% immune, but definitely it'll, make people less susceptible to the severe symptoms of the disease. So definitely now cognizance is being taken of the same as well. The supply of the vaccine is being worked upon, which is why that crucial meeting between the Prime Minister and the vaccine manufacturers of India was held that day. And when the Prime Minister too addressed the nation, and he urged everybody to get themselves vaccinated. So there were only three pointers which were stressed upon: vaccine, 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 testing, 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 and COVID appropriate behavior. So now this is left on the people as to how to counter their vaccine hesitancy, but definitely the Prime Minister looking after the current situation of the country, Anurag.
Thanks, Prashasti. Prashasti, you have made some really informative statements, and these are really informative for all of us here because we have like huge Indian diaspora here at the Manchester and in United Kingdom. So thanks once again. Thanks for joining us.